thus enhance skills. The important stakeholders includes NIFT Foundation for Design and Innovation, NSDC, DGFT, and the project is led by National Institute of MSME, which is an autonomous body of Ministry of MSME, Government of India. And it has been led under the leadership of its Director General, Dr. S. Glory Sarupa. We aim to create an enabling environment for enhancing skill development and entrepreneurship for the flow of trade, commerce, and technology, and we would be engaging, enabling, and empowering the micro entrepreneurs and startups to gain a better understanding of better understanding and challenges to global trade and export competitiveness. How do we do it? We will do it by e-learning, by providing the microloans, and also further helping them to learn how to digitize their products in two different e-commerce platforms. We will focus towards ODOP, which is a one district, one product scheme of Ministry of Commerce, and we will be also focusing the aspirational districts, where we are focusing to create millions of new micro entrepreneurs and startups. Hence, the support and the financial assistance from the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, we request to be given to National Institute of MSME for achieving the vision of our Honorable Commerce and Textile Minister for touching the exports to $500 billion, and also the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister of making in India a $5 trillion economy. Hence, I welcome you all to our first GlobalSpin Trade Conclave, and I would like to now to facilitate all of our guests. Thank you so much. I would request Ms. Patul Mahajan and our organizer, Dr. S. Glory Sarupa, Director General, NIMSME, to facilitate our chief guest, Mr. Rajesh Agarwalji, Secretary, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. We have two startups, one from Assam. She is Unmana, and we have Manish Kumar Gupta. They both are incubatees of NIFT Foundation for Design and Innovation. They have brought a very unique souvenir for our chief guest. So these are souvenirs of the startups from NFDI. So we have another startup, Manish Gupta. We would now request Ms. Patul Mahajan and Ms. Sonia Lamba to facilitate our guest of honor, Ms. Manisha Kinnu. She is an IRS Commissioner Income Tax and presently a Director, National Institute of Fashion Technology, New Delhi. I would now request Ms. Patul Mahajan, Ms. Sonia Lamba, and Dr. S. Glory Sarupa ma'am to facilitate our another guest, Dr. Pratik Kanakia, the Chairman, the Green Greens Limited. I would request Ms. Sonia Rama, Ms. Arul Mahajan to facilitate our Director General, Dr. S. Beauty Sarupa. Now I would like to call upon on the stage for the opening remarks by Dr. Pratik Kanakia, the Chairman, the Green Bullions Limited. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I extend a very warm welcome to honorable distinguished guests on the dais and a wonderful audience, more wonderful entrepreneurs, the startup founders, co-founders, and promoters sitting across, and who've taken this, in fact, this endeavor. And I must also compliment Mr. Yash Arya, the founder of I'm Khadi Foundation, to take this endeavor every time bigger and better. And we need more of such Yasharyas in this country to make things happen, to turn things around. Now, coming back to the agenda, why the Green Billions is a part, or maybe I'm the part of this wonderful GlobalSpin trade conclave. We've spoken about skill development, we've spoken about upskilling, we've spoken about modules, we've spoken about SOPs. Every such uh, every such endeavor requires the basic ingredient, that's the fire, the fuel, and that is the money part. So the Green Billions, as you basically, the name itself suggests that it has something to do with greening the world with an underwritten code of sustainability. While I say sustainability, while you understand sustainability, it is about sustaining things. How would we sustain? How would we sustain a micro entrepreneur? Let's talk about certain data. Now, MSMEs, if we think of MSMEs in our country, they account for 45% of our manufacturing output and 40% of our exports. Now, currently, we are facing an acute issue on unemployment. People keep complaining about India is the youngest nation. We've been producing educated youth, but we've not been able to provide them. But the government per se is not able to provide them with employment. I must tell you, government is just an enabler. We should come out of this mindset that government will do this, government will do. Yes, I understand it's a welfare state. I would like to quote the philosophy of my father while I was growing up. He used to just keep repeating this. दूसरों के परोसे दूसरों के परोसे उड़ सकता है इंसान दीवारों तक, आसमान में वो उड़ते हैं जिनके खुद के पर होते हैं. So the idea is to basically equip our youth, our generations with the wings. My vision, basically, I conceptualized, I incorporated this company after listening to Barack Obama before he demitted the office while he had just signed the Paris Accord on climate change. He used to scream from the rooftop, all his social media handles and platforms used to talk about preaching that climate change is a real threat to the planet, and hence we need to adopt sustainable practices. Now, to adopt sustainable practices, it rarely happens that a generation gets to witness transformative governance. We are shifting from conventional form of basic energy to alternate fuels, and things are going to change disruptively. As in, you can't even imagine the way the world is moving. For next 25 years, I would again repeat, the next 25 years would be governed by technology, by leverage of technology. So while I say sustainability, I would attach this finance also with sustainability, and technically it is called sustainable finance. So to support newer ventures, out of the box business models, new entrepreneurs, yes, we require money. Whether the government is in the game, yes, they are in the game. Their skin is in the game. They've been trying. I was just interacting with Honorable Secretary Sir before this all before this event started. He told me, Pratik, yes, we've been skilling. He gave me an example. Late 90s, we were not there. The such endeavors were not there. Such grants were not there. Still, India became a superpower of IT, information technology. So it means that yes, we can do things for each other. We need to come out of this shell and this ostrich mentality of looking towards the government every time. Government has made corporate social responsibility mandatory. So if you technically have a net worth of 1,000 crores and more than 500 crores of turnover, you need to put 2% back to certain social initiatives as a mandatory exercise. But I would further bring it down to PSR. I want you to think constructively, everyone. I basically would come down to PSR, as I said. It's a personal social responsibility. We all are responsible. Our skin is not in the game. Government has enabled various schemes. They talk about Atmanirbhar Bharat, they talk about vocal for local, they talk about local to global. How will it all happen? So the Green Billions initiative would be to create an engine, a new age tech platform adopting artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning for enabling finance to the micro entrepreneurs, those who've just gotten skilled or upskilled. Yes, there'll be parameters. Yes, there is a thought process of chicken and egg behind it. That okay, you need to do this to fetch this money. You need to do this to fetch that money. Same with the employment, right? You need to have this much experience to fetch this job. So this is a vicious circle. I want to break that clutter, but at the same time, we need to work together as an ecosystem. Government is just a nucleus. My idea is to involve the private sector and create an ecosystem of this sustainable finance on this tech platform, which the Green Billions is likely to create. We partnered with Temasek Holdings, a sovereign investment company of government of Singapore. They host world's largest fintech festival called Singapore Fintech Festival. Our own Honorable Prime Minister had gone there to deliver a keynote speech in 2018. So we've partnered with them to and created an Indian version. It is called Fintech Festival India. And I've been listening to various experts on the sustainable finance, on fintech. This is definitely the future. As I said, the next 25 years will be governed by the fourth industrial revolution, and leverage of technology is the biggest ingredient and part of the same. So my idea is to leverage technology for the betterment of these micro enterprises and entrepreneurs, those who've been skilled, upskilled, and want to start on their own. Because our generations will have to come out of the very thought of being a job seeker. We need to get out of this mentality of being a job seeker and become job creators. I really appreciate the startups, those who are present here today, the founders, the promoters. I've been a serial investor, and I keep looking for opportunities. We have an ecosystem which can definitely support such endeavors, such enterprises. Keep in touch, and I believe I'm taking too much of my time. I'm not supposed to speak that much. But to cut short my own series of thoughts, I must tell you that all these distinguished and illuminated personalities sitting on the dais, they'll have their own views, but all boils down to one thing. That's the will of our country. We are a 130 crore people nation. It's a consumption-based economy. Everyone everyone requires things. We need to work for each other. We need to work having a collaborative effort. Government is just an enabler. I will again sum it up by saying government is just an enabler. They are just a nucleus. We need to come out of the shell. We need to put our skin in the game, create newer practices, create newer SOPs which will match global standards. We have everything in us, nothing we lack. We just need to have that will. And again, thank Mr. Yash Arya to take this effort, and every time making it a bigger and better affair. And wish him all the luck. And Green Billions is there to support the newer enterprises. We are actually crunching numbers, and I literally uh, I envisage to lend or facilitate finance to maybe to start with 10 million micro entrepreneurs. So looking forward for a great association, and all of you, let's stay in touch and make things happen, make something big. We are there for each other, and these are very uncertain times, but like I said, let's make things happen, let's work together. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for this opportunity.
I would now like to request Dr. S. Glory Swarupa Sunchu, Director General, National Institute for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, to give the welcome address.
Namaskar. Honorable Chief Guest of the event, Sri Rajesh Agarwal sir, IAS Secretary, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Government of India, and Ms. Manisha, IRS, Director, NIFT, New Delhi, Dr. Prateek, Chairman, the Green Billions Limited, Mr. Yasharya, Anand Hadi, and Dr. Vishweshwar Reddy, and the delegates. A very good morning to all of you, and greetings from National Institute for Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises. Little emphasis with Mizoram. Emphasis GI indicated products of Mizoram, because among northeast states, Mizoram is having maximum number of geographical indications. I think 5 for textiles and rest for anthuriums and their chilies and ginger. It was very successful. We could bring in a lot of international speakers and local MSMEs pertinent to Mizoram, and we could make a match between the local entrepreneurs, especially the stakeholders related to agriculture and horticulture, to rest of India, the mainland and the world. And the second program we could do with emphasis on Ladakh, MSME Shopping Festival. So we could introduce the women entrepreneurs, more importantly, to states of India, other union territories, and to other nationalities of the world. So promoting their pashminas, their apricots, honey, jewelry, and their saffron, tulips, many other products what they have been doing. So we could able to link them. 143 precisely, the entrepreneurs, they could place their products on online platform, and I think almost 41 nations they could participate in this online festival. That was a very big success. Then this month we have started with physical programs. First one we did in Bangalore with the help of World Trade Center and National Institute of Fashion Technology. I think National Institute of Fashion Technology Foundation is also a co-organizer in these events. Second one, 2 days ago, we could do in Mumbai, again with the help of World Trade Center, and we could bring in a lot of startups and entrepreneur, including our clusters. So one of the cluster member, they could come all over from Jharkhand and they could place their products. And most of the women entrepreneurs, they brought their all ethnic products and they could display. Honorable Governor inaugurated the conclave. And today we are doing the last program, that is third physical program at Delhi. And we are thankful to all the stakeholders, co-organizers for helping NIMSME in conducting these programs. And I take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to the chief guest, the guest of honor, Director NIP, and the dignitaries on the dais on behalf of NIMSME and the organizers, and also on behalf of our ministry. National Institute for MSME is a 60-year-old organization, and I'm happy to share that while the India is celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we are celebrating 60 years Diamond Jubilee celebration of our institute. July 1st is our foundation day, so all these conferences and programs are part of our celebration. And I extend a warm welcome to you all to Hyderabad. When you happen to be in Hyderabad, you are welcome to the institute. We have contributed very significantly for the promotion of entrepreneurship development, skill development, and MSME promotion in the country for the past 60 years through our services like capacity building. That is the major activity we have been doing, and research. We completed almost 950 studies for the Government of India and state governments, and also PSUs. We have very strong research base, and we trained more than 500,000 officers, including the Indian Economic Service officers and most of the Industries Department, Commerce Department, and Line Department officers by imparting the knowledge and the schemes of Government of India and the policies and the new developments in MSME sector. And we almost trained 3 lakh youth and women who are unemployed but educated over a decade since 2009-10. The concept of skill, when it was initiated in India, our institute was very instrumental in developing the curriculums and modules and imparting the skill across the nation. And we are also very good at conducting international executive programs. Since 1967, we have been doing these international programs, and we could reach 11,000 delegates representing 150 nations. We have large international alumni base, and we have schools of excellence in our institute, and we have centers of excellence. One good center we have is National Center for Cluster Development. So under the Spurti scheme of fund for regeneration of traditional industries, developed, and Khadi clusters we have developed in Karnataka. Again in Tirupati, in Kalahasti, we have developed the Khadi clusters. So my call to the delegates over here, so you can reach us through this Spurti scheme. If you have minimum 200 of beneficiaries like handloom weavers or artisans, so we can help you with the common facilities in creation of the machinery, new equipments, technology upgradation, market access, participation in exhibitions, and building their soft skills like their design patterns and their production interventions. All these cluster approach, we can help the artisans all over the nation. So we have been not only these handicrafts, handlooms, we are into handicrafts and food processing also. Because India, we say roti, kapda, makan. So for the first thing is food, and because every time we need new taste and new varieties of food, because old one is boring. So we are largely into that food. Then kapda is again, we need always new trends, new fashions, and new styles. So that's why our ministry is focusing on that, and we could develop a good number of clusters. And at present, we are handling almost 40 clusters. And recently, last week, we got approval for 3 clusters, 2 on turmeric and 1 on millets. So like this, we have been delivering the services to the nation and promoting MSMEs across the nation. And we are working very seriously on a concept called dumping of women entrepreneurs, because we have good number of startups here. I think that is the story of knots. So very, very impressive name. Likewise, there's a hemp affair also. Also very catchy taglines and names. You can approach us through social media, through email, and through our website. And whatever the help required from Government of India, whatever is possible from our side, through training, capacity building, and research, and this cluster development, we can help you. And we also have an intellectual property preservation center, so we can help you with the IP products, whether your patent, trademark, industrial design, or copyright. We can help you like that. We have several services, and we have been regularly conducting skill development program on fashion technology. We have a livelihood business incubation for fashion technology and baking technology. So like this, we have several services, and I'm very much thankful to Secretary Sir for sparing his valuable time on a working day and encouraging us, because Ministry of MSME and Skill Development, we work very closely, encouraging and supporting us with his presence, and also encouraging the startups. I take this opportunity to welcome all the startups, the story of nerds, Empire, and the startup from Assam. I could not get her name. And most importantly, our foreign speakers from Ethiopia, the ambassadors and the speakers, and from the delegates from Mauritius. So they have been with us from Bangalore program. So they were in Bangalore program. They went to Ahmedabad. Again, they came back to Delhi as a speaker, because this is an international conclave, and the delegates present over here, all the ladies and gentlemen. So a warm welcome to you all to this 2 days GlobalSpin conclave. I hope the deliberations will help the participants with the knowledge and skills and the information. I think there will be a lot of interactions and panel discussions. I think everyone will be benefited through this conclave, and a lot of networking should happen, and everybody should help each other, and it should be a win-win situation to all of them. And the industry and startups should make a tie-up, and they should grow together for the nation building process. I wish this conclave all the best, and my success to the startups. Thank you very much. Thanks to all.
I will now request Ms. Manisha Kinu, IRS, Director NIFT, to address the audience.
A very good morning to Secretary Sir, esteemed dignitaries and delegates. It is my pleasure to be present at the opening of the GlobalSpin Trade Conclave that endeavors to discuss the best practices among multiple stakeholders from handloom, textile and apparel industry. It is heartening to address the international delegates from across the globe as well as industry experts from India. NIFT has been one of the premier institutes of fashion education in the world, providing professional human resource to textile and apparel industry. Graduating from the portals of NIFT, the alumni have changed the business of fashion in the country. Over the years, the alumni contributing in multiple domains have built a strong network, thus forming the backbone of fashion industry in India and abroad. The NIFT curriculum has always focused on exposing students to the rich textile heritage of India. The Craft Cluster Initiative, sponsored by DC Handlooms and DC Handicrafts, has been a successful academic endeavor across various disciplines of NIFT. The initiative has given opportunity to students to interact with artisans based in different clusters of India. The craft sensitization has familiarized students about Indian textile traditions, evoking a deep sense of regard towards sustainable cultural and textile practices. The artisans too have benefited through co-creation of contemporary and viable designs, thus boosting their sales. There are many success stories of NIFT alumni who have strived to amalgamate traditional craft skills in contemporary creation, also providing their expertise to government an international project with Ethiopian Textile Industry Development Institute, ETIDI, is worth a mention. As part of the project, NIFT conducted training programs to strengthen the capabilities of ETIDI in training, consulting, research, and marketing for the Ethiopian apparel industry. The recently set up NIFT Foundation for Design Innovation, NFDI, is a Section 8 company that will facilitate innovation and entrepreneurship by converting and translating innovative design and technology ideas in fashion and textile industry. The facilitation provided by NFDI would include pre-incubation, incubation, and accelerated services. I take this opportunity to congratulate the organizers of GlobalSpin Conclave for providing a platform to facilitate engaging discussions amongst the various stakeholders. I hope the conclave will strengthen business opportunities and innovation.
Morning to all the friends from India and from other friendly countries. I went around and saw a few startups, so that is very educative, and I've been listening to all of you. Present job role, I have to look at in which job roles our kids should be skilled, and where are the entrepreneurship or financial interventions required. Job roles of today, many of these did not exist 20 years ago. And we have absolutely no clue what the job market will be or what skills will be required 20 years down the line. So I have personally, for my own own simplification, designed a scheme that what are the basic human needs. As D.G. Nismi said, since civilization began, human needs are roti kapda makan. Food, housing, and clothes. Paintings going back to 60,000 centuries, obviously increasing, acceleration is increasing. So the production styles, the distribution channels, and consumption styles, they have changed. Now we talk about e-commerce and home deliveries and so on. And the textiles and the food also, they have been sort of movers of global commerce again since 80s. We all know about Silk Route and Spice Route, so this is important. That's why we see a lot of our friends from other countries. So it's not only the production part, it's also the design part. That also matters. These days in job market we talk of 3 Ds. First is demographics. So we have a relatively young population. Friends from Ethiopia were telling me they also have 70% population is young. One, it results in a labor force, abundant labor force, which in a sense dictates our production also. If labor is cheap, you would not really go for mechanization, so you will weigh your economic options. Also, it indicates consumer preferences. If the population is young, your clothing, your textiles, your housing, your food, they all have to be geared to consumer preferences of the younger lot. Second is digitization. And in the textiles, digitization actually began in 1800 with Jacquard loom, which was the first pattern making mechanical machine. And in fact, the first analytical programmable computer, Charles Babbage, that was designed in 1880 or something. So that was just a copy of Jacquard loom. Textile has shown the way to basically digitization. Now we talk of a lot of automation in the production, so a lot of robotic usage in the textile sector also. Then in design, obviously, NIFT and others, you are day in and day out using computers for all the designs and patterns.
And consumption, one as consumer looks at Instagram I'm sure all the startups here would be using all the digital channels for their sales. And for the consumer also, one goes on Flipkart or somewhere and just orders something. And the very important is decarbonization. Demographics, digitization, decarbonization. We have only one Earth, and if we destroy it, we have nowhere to go. So Mars, well, maybe only a few hundred people will go to Mars. So we destroy our planet, and we are seeing the effects already. The climatic changes effects we have already started experiencing. But decarbonization, does it mean only going back to roots? जैसे फूड में कहते हैं कि जो दादी का खाना था वो बढ़िया था, कपड़े वो जो पुराने जमाने में पहनते थे वो पहनने चाहिए. It does not really mean that. At the moment, it means energy saving. If fossil fuels and other means of energy that is a big factor of pollution. Or production process maybe, whether it's a plant or a synthetic textile or whatever, or the way we process it. The pollution effect should be minimal. The chemical dyes, the pollution effect should be minimal. On the energy side, maybe 10 years down the line, there may be breakthrough in nuclear fusion, maybe on the battery storage, on the hydrogen fuel side. Then probably we will not talk of energy saving in production. Definitely lesser pollution, that's very important. So that's why I was actually very happy to see the story of knots and the hemp affairs. And Prime Minister also talks of circular economy, that nothing should go waste. And also ahimsa silk. So when we talk of decarbonization, having a non-violent approach, that even the animals are not being harmed. So that kind of silk production. So that's also very important. So that way, I felt happy to be here amongst all of you and share some thoughts. After 2 days, I will ask Yash that any outcomes and BG Madam and if that what are the areas we can work together. So I'll be very happy to work together on skills part as well as entrepreneurship part. And we'll stop here. So we've already exceeded our 1 hour slot overall. But my best wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your enriching words. Now I would like to invite Dr. K. Vishwara Reddy to give the vote of thanks.
Respected dignitaries of the dais, the foreign delegates, the startups, and other participants in the GlobalSpin trade conclave on eco-handlooms, eco-textiles and apparels. First of all, on behalf of Ministry of MSME, National Institute for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, the organizers like IAM Kadi and NFDI, I would like to thank our chief guest of the day, Mr. Rajesh Agarwal, IAS, Secretary, Ministry of Skills Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. So, sir, your right mention about the basic human needs, the roti, kapda or makan, and the right mention of the heritage and the culture, which throws back to 60,000 to 6,000 years, and very good mention about the 3Ds, the demographic participation, especially India has got the demographic dividend as such, and the mention of digitalization, decarbonization, and this particular conclave, sir, we assure you, talks about the eco-handlooms, the eco-textiles and apparel. Already we have people, some of the exhibitors in this regard who are into this. So thank you very much, sir, for your very valuable time and very valuable inputs for the audience today. I also take this opportunity to thank Ms. Manisha Kinnu, IRS Director, NIFT New Delhi. Madam, the NIFT has been contributing towards the handloom and textiles and especially the apparel sector and they are getting into technology, and they have been also into sustainability to a very great extent. Thank you, madam, for your presence for today's inaugural session. Thank you very much. I take this opportunity to also thank our Director General, Madam. She was talking about the international conferences which were being held under the International Cooperation Scheme under Ministry of MSME, and we have organized very successfully the 4 international conferences, and this is the 5th one which is being organized. And we could see that those segments, especially we have talked